Some people really are attention seekers, and I don't have a problem with it. My advice is that you indulge these people and give them what little they're asking for, if all they want is some acknowledgement. Some people will do anything for attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention. They just like the spotlight to be on them. And it's not really that big of a deal. Some people just like to get a reaction out of others, which I can, I believe could be or is problematic sometimes. And you see a lot of attention seeking in the celebrity world. Like when 50 Cent was promoting the program Paid in Full, a story about Rich Poenese, and in order to get some attention to promote that, he would antagonize Diddy, releasing all kinds of information, making documentaries, making a lot of statements on social media, and that's one way to get attention is by dissing someone else. And when you get some traction, not that 50 Cent doesn't already have a lot of popularity, but you may get some new people interested in what you have going on, especially when you're trying to tell a story that a lot of people don't know about. Then another example is Lil Tay with Daniel Brzoli or Bad Baby. Lil Tay has a career on OF, and one way to get a lot of attention over there to her account, to her profile, is by dissing another OF creator that's already successful. I think it was reported that Bad Baby or Daniel Brzoli made over 50 million from her OF account. So I guess if Lil Tay wanted to do something similar, then she would want to get some of Bad Baby's fans over to her account, which is not the worst idea. And I believe it worked. I think I saw that it was reported that Lil Tay made over 3 million very quickly, maybe within the first week or the first couple of days that she started her OF account. So that's pretty impressive. And another example of how attention seeking can be beneficial to someone. Then you have another example is Cardi B. When she dropped the album Am I the Drama, she had a beef with JT, a rapper from Florida, I think Miami. And at the time, I believe that JT had a lot of popularity with her album. I don't know if she had released the album around the same time, but I think there were attacks or jabs thrown at JT and her then boyfriend. I don't know if they're still dating, but JT is or was dating Lil Uzi Vert. And I think Cardi B dissed both of them on her album, and this could have potentially stirred up a lot of controversy between those two and drawn a lot of attention to Cardi B's release to possibly drive more sales. So you see, there's a lot of attention seeking everywhere, not just in the celeb world, but also in real life. You know, a lot of people, they may have this desire to be acknowledged by others, but they may not have the drive to do something to get the attention that they want. So they'll take the easy route and stir up some conflict to get people all riled up. And then that's what can get them attention. You know, it's a lot easier than, being a an athlete, or maybe working on your acting skills or producing music, you can just, trigger people, and now they're thinking about you, you know, thinking about ways to show you, or react in a way to show you that they don't like what you're about. I have seeked attention in the past myself. Sometimes when I go to baseball games or football games, I'll yell at people in the crowd and get a pretty negative reaction from people, possibly get popcorn thrown on me. I have been a class clown, seeked a lot of attention in class, a lot of outbursts, a lot of disruption in the classroom, all just for fun, to see how people react, you know, or in the workplace. I'll act up in the workplace just just for entertainment, and make the shift go along quicker, I guess. Give my coworkers something to talk about, and I got attention for it. Sometimes when I'll be at work and there will be a team meeting, I'll interrupt and so on. And now that I think back on it, sometimes it was embarrassing for me to disrupt what is supposed to be professional work moments, but it was all for fun. It's in the past. But there are people, coworkers that I've had in the past, who are also attention seekers in a really negative way, where they didn't like how I did things in the workplace. They didn't like my workplace arrangement, and they probably just didn't like me at all. So they'll go out of their way to express their indifference towards me. And I usually, most of the time, wouldn't react at all. I would just, keep doing what I was doing, fulfilling my workplace obligations and duties, because to me, I'm just here to work. And under whatever employee contract I have with the company, that's all I have to do. It's all my managers ever asked me to do was my job, and I did that well. And that was that. As far as anything extra going on in the workplace, it's not my problem. It's not my responsibility. I've never had a manager that asked me to appease a coworker before. I've only been asked to do my job, and that's what I did. But you'll have some coworkers who will give me attention because they want attention. And some people are like that. If they really crave attention, but they're not willing to go out of their way to do anything particularly impressive to get the attention that they want, then they'll just take the easy route and give other people a lot of attention to get acknowledged in return. So I've had coworkers do that to me, where they feel like they acknowledge me way more than I acknowledge them. And so their idea is to be antagonistic towards me in order to get me to give them the attention that they give me. And so I guess it works sometimes, but I wouldn't really acknowledge the person, just address the issue. Not that I have a problem with it. I didn't ignore my coworkers. I was just super focused on getting my job done. And that's what I did. So my advice is, when you're dealing with attention seekers, you don't have to completely condemn them just give them what little they're asking for, just a little acknowledgement. But it doesn't have to be long term or anything over the top. So, in the comments, give me an example of times you've dealt with attention seekers or maybe have been an attention seeker yourself. And if you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. And if you could subscribe, I'd like that as well. And talk to you later.